So I thought I'd do a video based around the macros that I've created for the SSL UF8 for use in Cubase 12, I think we're on now. It's quite simple. For those who don't know, this is a DAW controller. It's a very expensive piece of kit, but I was one of the people that managed to get one off eBay at half of the retail price, I think it is. You know, one of those golden eBay sellers that don't come around too often and actually know the market and give the customer service, as it were. So very pleased. But the thing I want to talk about is the soft key section up here, where there's 6 buttons. Each one of these buttons gives you a different bank of buttons across the top. And those are the ones that can be customized, and the ones I've customized in Cubase. So the first one, VPOT, is standard. You can't actually change that within the 360 software, which is fine because then you're not going to lose any kind of functionality. It's got some important stuff like FX send on there. That reminds me, let me just pan that back. There we go. So that's got just some very basic commands on there, which aren't changeable. So we've really only got 5 keys to choose from on here. Number 1, soft key number 1, is my inserts opening bank. For example, if I'm going to pick one that doesn't have a plugin on it. So if I look at this, here we go. So let's say we've got a, where are we? Okay, so we've got a plugin on insert number 1. I can open that up, and I've got quick key number 1 here set to escape, which will close down the plugin. So insert number 3 is that. So I can very quickly kind of open plugins. Now I've seen people with Studio One, and I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest with you, being able to kind of just cycle through channels and open up plugins as you go. That would be lovely, but hey ho, this is Cubase and I'm not changing it. So that this first one here is opening up all the inserts. Soft key number 2 is my add channels bank. So for example, I can add an audio track, and I might need to adjust the timing there. You can see the track's named itself TR when it should be GTR, which is my shorthand for guitar. So if you look in 360 here, and I go to bank number 2, and this is the macro to create the audio track. I've got Shift A, and then it's going to Shift G, T, R, and then press return. So I would perhaps maybe put in a longer delay there to hopefully have a bit more success in getting it named correctly. That's a minor thing that I need to kind of, it depends on the speed of your system and all sorts, but that's kind of the micro tweaking. But the general purpose of it, create an audio track, done. Okay, the next one is a instrument track, which is only going to open this panel because I haven't figured out how to pick an instrument. So it's just going to open that panel, and then you'll just name it and press enter and be on your way. The next one, I can create a chord track. I believe it's going to probably end up here. I can create a chord track. Actually, where's that put it? Where's it put it? I don't know. There it is. Chord track. I can put a tempo track. There we go. Pretty standard stuff. I can, for example, select a track. I can hold command. I can select a bunch of random tracks like this, and I can add them to a folder. That's my next hotkey. I'll undo that, and I can do the same, select a bunch of tracks, and I can send them off to a group, name the group, press enter, done. The next two on this bank are link and unlink, where I can select, let's say I'll hold command again, I'll select another bunch of tracks and I'll press the link key, and just so you can see, I'll then move this one fader and they're all moving along with it. And when I'm done with that, I can just unlink it and we can go back to the single thing there. Link it again, unlink, very handy. So that's soft key number 2, which is the add tracks. Soft key number 3 is my add plugins bank. So I'm on a track that doesn't have any plugins. I've got specific plugins for each insert slot. So I'll have a frequency on slot 1, a 1176 purple audio, the SSL channel strip 2. If I don't want channel strip 2, for example, if I go back here, open up the insert, you can see that's channel strip 2. Let's say I want a 4KB instead, I'll just press that button. And we have a 4KB, so there's the 4KB. And you know what, I've changed my mind. I want to go back to the SSL channel strip 2 and just put that in there instead. I've got a Pultec EQ on slot number 4. I've got an LA2A by Softtube. I've got a Brainworks mid-side plugin and the SSL bus compressor. So I've got a phone in front of my face, so it's a little I can't really see anything. Here we go. So we've got the VC, the LA2A. This is the Brainworks BX Control 2, which is great for stereo control. I guess I use it for mostly low end and stereo separations, etc. Like I say, the bus comp. So it's added those plugins there. Very quickly, if I was to do that macro, for example, I've got E key set to channel settings, so it would open that, and then I'd press tab twice. I would press down on the keyboard, and depending on which slot I wanted, let's say I wanted slot 3 to add in the channel strip, I'd hold shift and then press right on the keyboard, and then I'd press option and enter, and then I would try to, in as many or as little letters as possible, channel strip 2, and then enter, and then E to get rid of that, and the end of the macro would be the escape key. So try that again. We go tab twice, down arrow, option enter, I don't know, polyspace enter, E, and escape. And so that's how I would add plugins. The next soft key is soft key number 4, which is adding FX channels. So, for example, if I press this key, it's going to create an FX channel and it's going to put the SSL flex verb on the first slot. That is a Native Instruments RC24. That's an RC48, which is the lexicon reverbs. The polyspace that you just saw, really, honestly, great plugin. 16 quid, amazing, fantastic, love it. I've got reverence, Got the SSL X delay and a replica XT delay, and I just added on a BX, that's the Brainworks delay, just because for the hell of it, as you can see there. So where were we? Yeah, so that's added in the FX channels. So basically all I'm doing is I've got a hotkey assigned to creating an effects channel, and then I'm doing that whole kind of pressing E, tab twice, down, option enter, RC2, 4, enter, E, escape. All of that's in the macro, which you can see here on number 4, for example. So yeah, Shift and F or Option Command F will create my FX track, and then I'm typing in flex verb and then pressing enter, escape. You see there's long delays there. I've put long delays in there because when I had a big project, the computer was kind of struggling to kind of this is a M1 Pro MacBook Pro, but you know, nothing's perfect. If there's a lot going on, then a plugin might take just a couple of seconds longer to load, and that might throw off the actual macro. But generally it works really well. So back to Cubase. This is where things get a little bit more fruity. So if I pick, I don't know, let's see. I don't know what we got here. Let's find some audio. What's this? Right, I don't know what that is or why that's there, but it doesn't serve any purpose for this particular tune. But anyway, let's say we've got all of effects channels there. So now number 5, soft key number 5, is going to send to those effects channels. This when it gets a little bit cooler. So let's say I want to send this guitar track to, actually I'll open up this bottom section here. I want to send to the flex verb. I want to send to the polyspace. I want to send to the reverence plugin built into Cubase and the replica delay. And you can see it's created a send, activated that send, and they're at 0. So now I would then press VPOT, which is the first soft key, and that will give us the option to press FX send up here in the top. I can then press flip to take it away from these encoders onto the faders. And then if I press 5, all that's doing is then naming where these sends are so that I know flex verb is this fader, polyspace, reverence, and replica XT. So oh yeah, that reminds me, if if when you send to a track you have to unsolo and then solo again so that it solos the effects tracks. So where was I? Yep, if I go to VPOT, FX sends, I'll just press play. And you can hear, if I press 5, I can get my labels back up again. We'll take down them two and that one. Is that working? It's not working. It's not working. Why aren't you working? There we go. I soloed the wrong track or something. I don't know. There we go. So yeah. Marvelous. And so yeah, that's my basic layout. I will put on the screen now a picture, the table of how I kind of planned this out before I decided to start kind of programming it in. But I'll also mention, actually I'll just show you how I did the send macro, because it's a little bit more involved. So if I pick, here's a track, I don't know what we got on it. What we got on it? Right. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings with my guitar playing. Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so let's say I want to send this track to Polyspace, for example. So my macro is going to open the track window here. It's going to press tab 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to press down on the arrow key. I'm going to press Control and Enter. Option Enter. I'm then going to start typing in Polyspace, and then I'm going to press Enter again, and you can see it's added in a send that's activated, ready to go. And all you would need then to do is unsolo and solo to make sure that it solos the Polyspace plugin here. Just to extend on that, you know, E, tab 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, down on the arrow key, hold down shift and press right on the arrow key, or left on the arrow key, will take you up and down, so you can pick which one you want. Then you press option, no, yes, you would press control, I've messed it up now. You would press 1, 2, 3, 4, down, shift right, control enter, option enter, RC 24, go. So the very important thing to know is that if you don't press control and enter, the 1, 2, 3, 4, down, shift right, if I don't press control and enter now and just press option enter and just add a send in there, it won't be activated, which is a right pain. So I'd rather have it activated and then go into my FX send here with my flip key and pull them down and then start playing with them that way. So yeah, I don't know how helpful this video is. If anyone wants to know anything else about the UF1, which is there to my left, the UF8, or the UC1, which is to my right, I could probably do some more videos. I'm still getting my head around how to use these things in the simplest fashion ever. I don't want them to do everything. I would love them to do complex things with just a press of a button and things like that. And I think there's a lot of scope for doing that. But if anyone wants to ask any questions, specifically for Cubase and these things, then go ahead. Thanks for watching.